Hi guys, Julie the Oracle here. So today I'm going to do a reading. What does your higher self want you to know? I have a few Oracle cards pulled. So as I start to do this reading, my typical spiel is I don't know who all is going to be watching this. There's a lot of different people with different situations out there. So take what resonates and leave the rest. As I clear my throat, here we go. So what does your higher self want you to know? We have the Seven of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Star, the Eight of Swords, the Moon, and the Nine of Cups. I'm going to start at the top, Seven of Swords. This is my deception card. This means that you're lying either to yourself or to others, or someone could be lying to you. This doesn't mean that it's like horrible and they're lying to you all the time or saying things about you or anything like that. If that's your situation, I completely understand. But the Seven of Swords, in this case, this is your higher self giving you advice. And it's telling, your higher self is telling you to be honest with yourself. I mean, your higher self is they're a more upgraded version of you. Pardon that. My Windows is messing up there. Okay. Always got to be something interrupting. Hey, maybe one of you has a sign that's a chime or something, so take it as it resonates. I think everything happens for a reason. But your higher self wants you to know that you need to be honest with yourself. And the Seven of Swords is you trying to sneak around. You're like, oh, you might be a little bit honest with yourself, but you're leaving things out. Don't omit. You're avoiding facing something. And with the Seven of Swords, I feel like, and I'm going to take this card out here so mess up my pile, but, this is just the simplified version of, the guy stealing all of these swords. He's got 5. He leaves some couple behind because he can't carry that. And that's just like, in a way, it's saying that you're carrying a heavy burden here. Like, not being honest with yourself, it weighs on you. Because deep down the truth. We're all intuitive. Everybody, every last person on this earth has an intuition. Not everybody leans into their psychic abilities, I'll give you that, but everybody can follow a gut instinct and they know what's best for them. So it's time for you guys to be honest with yourself here. I don't know what it is that you're carrying or what it is you don't want to be honest about. I'm getting for a lot of you, it's all about that anxiety, fears, doubts, insecurities. Those are huge things. They affect everybody. We can all relate to that in some way, even me. So you need to be honest with yourself. If you're feeling a certain way, whatever situation it is, and whoever it is with, if it's about you, diving into yourself, soul searching, trying to figure out who you are and why you do the things you do, be honest. Be as honest as you can with yourself. I'm getting an earring, so I think the guides are agreeing with me here. Ooh, my ear was ringing during that for a second. And be honest, like deep down what's going on. And it's hard, and I know it can be confusing. There's a lot of confusion out there, a lot of confused people. But it's up to you to be honest with yourself, because that's going to make you a better person. That's how you grow individually, mentally, emotionally, physically. Like, you grow your entire spirit that way. And your higher self is reminding you that you need to be honest. And if your situation involves friends, family, work, other people, or involves some other situation you're involved in right now, something more specific, then they might be calling you to be honest with others in there too, because swords are thoughts of communication. So this may be a card of, hey, this is time for you to speak up, assert yourself, be honest, not just with yourself, but with whoever else is involved in this. If there is, this won't be for everybody, but those of you that are kind of soul searching on your own, you're going to be growing from within. Those of you that are dealing with a situation with other people, this is telling you to speak up on that too as well. It's very important. That's like the main message from that card. So be honest, be truthful, speak up when you need to speak up. It's time to face facts. That's what your higher self is saying with that card. With the Queen of Pentacles, this is a beautiful card. This is somebody coming into their own. We've got pentacles here. This can be house and home and work and money. You know, it represents a lot. It represents relationships as well. A Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's very stable. She's very abundant. She's kind of like, she's got her house and home in order, very organized, and she's loving and thoughtful, and you know, I like to say she rules her roost. That's kind of what I like to use that term, that phrase, just because that's what I see the Queen of Pentacles as. She sits on her throne and she's in charge, but she's very smart and she's well-spoken, and she knows how to run her household, how to make a house a home, and she knows how to bring in the abundance. So your higher self is telling you to get into the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. Get that energy of abundance flowing to you, and that, you know, you are finding yourself stability in your job or in your relationship, or maybe you bought a new home or just moved into a new apartment. Whatever it is, you are finally getting to this point. You know, your higher self is just like, you're doing great. Look at this. Look at all the flowers. Look at all the grapes up here and the flowers. Like, everything is blooming. Your fruit is growing. Like, it's fruitful. All of your efforts have been very fruitful, and you know, you've planted the seeds of wonderful ideas or projects, or, you know, you're doing the work on yourself or for others at a job, like whatever it is, like these ideas, these goals and hopes and dreams that you had, you're making it happen. You're becoming the Queen of Pentacles. This is the energy, and they want to remind you to stay in that energy. Even if you have a hiccup, if it's like, oh, you know, things were going good and you hit a bump in the road and somebody's not happy at work, or, you know, maybe you had an argument with your partner, it's going to be okay. It'll be all right, you know. And when I say that, I don't want anyone to assume I'm saying, oh, everything's going to be hunky-dory and, you know, your relationship's going to be perfect, or, you know, your job's going to go great. Like, you hit a bump in the road. All of it's going to be effort to make progress. So I'm not saying long-term everything's going to work out. You know, we don't really know what will happen. It just depends on you. Like, is your relationship going to work out right now? You know, is it going to end over a little hiccup? No, it shouldn't. If it does, it probably wasn't a good one. So keep that in mind. You know, if your work fires you over a little hiccup, I'd be a little concerned with that. You know, because most people, they would just get talked to or written up, or like, hey, you made a mistake here. Let's not do this again. It doesn't have to be that severe. However, I know, like, for a small percentage of people out there, there's always that one or two people, some of you out there, like, that end up having that horrible, you know, working relationship with the boss or coworkers or with your partner or whatever it is. It's just not working out. That's for you guys. That's going to be very, very limited, I believe, because I'm not one to say that's going to happen for everybody. For the most of you, it's a hiccup. It's a little bump in the road. It's nothing major. You know, just be reminded to keep that abundance flowing. Stay in the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. You're doing fine. You're doing a great job. People make mistakes. You know, we screw up. It's okay. Those grapes are still growing. Your flowers are growing. You got a rabbit there. You know, you have all this prosperity. It's beautiful. The abundance and prosperity is flowing in. She's completely surrounded by it. She's holding on to that beautiful pentacle. So, you know, your home is stable. It seems like your finances are probably stable. You're doing okay, and don't worry. You know, things happen. You start to worry. You start to go, oh my gosh, I have anxiety now. No, your higher self reminds you, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. So just calm yourself and just take it one day at a time. With the Star, I love this card. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. I have several, but I love the Star. The Star, as I always say, is hope. It's hope above anything else, but it can be healing. It can be wish fulfillment. Most people think of it as wish fulfillment. You wish upon a star, you know. I have also heard of it as a divine timing card. You know, like doors are opening, opportunities coming up. And for some of you, your higher self wants you to know, don't miss those opportunities when they open up. If divine timing is in your favor, you always want to take advantage of that, you know. Divine timing, you know, it's a waiting game. It is the ultimate patience game, if you want to talk about it like that. So, and we, when I talk about it, it's like, oh, we have to wait forever, it seems like. But the thing is, you keep yourself busy in that time, it goes a lot faster. So when divine timing does roll around and it opens a door for you, walk through that door. Your higher self wants you to take whatever opportunities are coming. They are meant for you. And it's going to lead you to even better circumstances in life, better abundance, better everything. So go for it. For those of you that are worried about things right now, or worried about being honest with yourself, and you don't because it's painful to think about, you don't want to see the truth in something, well, you know what? Keep the hope alive. It's okay. You need some healing. You need time. You need hope. Everybody needs hope, I believe. Hold on to that hope, because that hope is what keeps us going when we have nothing else, when we have no one else. That hope is what we hang on to. It's just, even if it's a small thread, like, don't let go. And your higher self wants you to know that. Because hope, I think, is very much related to, like, the magician, to creating, to manifesting. When we stay hopeful, we're keeping things alive. We're keeping that dream alive that we have, that goal, that wish. And a card of wish fulfillment is exactly what we want to see when we're hopeful. So keep hoping, keep wishing, keep it up. They want you to just stick with it. And I've said this the last few times, hold the vision. I mean it. And that still stands. Hold the vision. So most of you are going to love that card. The Eight of Swords kind of goes, I started to kind of mention it for some of you with the Hope card, when you feel like you have nothing else, but again, we're back to Swords, and I kind of feel like it's a clarifying. It's funny how the bottom cards can kind of clarify top cards and relate to them. So the Eight of Swords can relate to the Seven of Swords, because up here, this person is not honest with themselves or others. Well, the Eight of Swords can be like, this is blinding yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, you're literally tying yourself up and blindfolding yourself because you don't want to see. Because it hurts. It hurts to see the truth sometimes. Or, maybe there's truths about yourself that, like, oh, I don't really want to think of myself that way. No, I'm awesome. Of course you're awesome. But we all have flaws. You have to see the truth about yourself sometimes, whether it's pretty or not. And the Swords, again, thoughts, communications, you've got to speak up. Whoever is sitting in this Eight of Swords, those of you that identify with this card, you are feeling tied up. But the truth is, you're not really. She's standing there alone. You can break free. Look how flimsy that string is around her. You can break free like the Hulk. Muscles. Break free. And you can literally, she could lift up her hand and take that blindfold off after she does. And she might even be able to see underneath it because it looks pretty flimsy itself. This is about feeling trapped. And you see there's a little flowing water under here, and it's kind of topsy-turvy. There's a little bit in the moon card too. And in the star card, some of that is. That water, that shows flow. It can show that it's a little bit, things can be a little bit rough, a little choppy. But that's the way you're feeling. You are feeling all stuck up in your head in this card. It's one thing to lie to yourself, but that's because you don't want to face all these thoughts that you have. And the truth is, you need to. You need to find someone to talk to, whether it's a therapist or your best friend. Find someone that you can trust and tell them how you're feeling. Talk about it. And, people have a way of making you feel better. And sometimes just talking about it makes you feel better. Your higher self doesn't want you to be trapped. They want you to know that you're actually free. You're just trapping yourself. And it's a mind trap. You're fallen into, it's a pitfall. That's what I want to say. It's a pitfall. You're literally falling into your own hole. You dug it yourself and you need to get out of it. You can crawl out. You literally can stand up and you have the strength to pull yourself out of this pitfall of these thoughts that are getting into your head that make you feel like I'm trapped in this situation, or I'm trapped within my mind. Like, I don't like this. I don't want to face these issues that I have. But that's kind of what these cards are saying. It's time to face it. This is what your higher self wants you to do. They're like, you can't grow if you avoid. So it's time to free yourself, start facing it. When you start facing the things that you don't want to know, face the facts, the truth. Even if it hurts and it's not like what you want to hear, it's going to help you grow. And you're going to break free of all of that. And you're going to feel so free when you're done. You're literally going to sprout wings and start flying away. I mean, this is a great, it's a great feeling once you do, shed the weight of those thoughts that you have on you. You're limiting yourself here. So your higher self tells you to break free. Stop limiting yourself. And the moon card, that deals a lot with fear too. They're howling at the moon. I like this card because it has a sun and a crescent moon in it. It's really interesting how normally when I get the moon card, it doesn't show a sun in it. So there's a lot of happiness in this card, A lot of light is being shined on you. And the moon is just revealing like part of your shadow. It's revealing your fears. But the moon is also, revealing of your intuition. So it kind of covers both. In this, I see the water being a little bit choppy. It's not affecting the, lobster in it. Or I never understood why, like, we had the two dogs and the lobster in here, like the wolves howling. And it's interesting. But the moon is calling you to balance both sides, your sun and your moon. This can also be, it kind of reminds me of yin and yang. So you're called to balance. Maybe you're feeling unbalanced and your higher self wants you to balance out. Like, okay, maybe you're acting like everything's good outside the sun, you're bright and you're happy, but there's a part of you in the moon that has these worries that they're kind of like stuck in the back of your mind. And when how do I describe this? I'm trying to find a way to describe this, but when you have these types of feelings stuck in the back of your mind, they're just kind of concerned. It concerns you. It kind of, it does weigh on you like this. It traps you just like the Eight of Swords. But when it comes to the fear in the moon card, you tend to have doubts and you tend to want to be afraid to take that step forward on things. And you're letting it cripple you in a way. I don't know if that's the right word I want to use, and it does, because you can be so happy out here, everything's good, but deep inside, you're not feeling so happy. Life is not as clear and as you think it is. You don't have the clarity you want, and you want everybody to think you're okay, but the truth is, you're not okay deep down, and you need to talk to somebody about it. But the moon card can also be intuition. So for some of you, you may be running around shining this beautiful light everywhere. But I with this card, I feel like the moon being a sliver is what I'm trying to say. A sliver of a moon makes me think that your intuition is there and that you may be ignoring it. So your higher self is like telling you, like, you want to shine your light, but don't ignore your intuition. And don't, it's okay, like, to have, like, we have these doubts and stuff in our head, but we don't want them to take over. So the good thing about the doubts is that it really is a good thing that they're just the sliver of the moon representing it. That means only a fraction of you is having these, doubts and fears and worries about life in general and situations and people. And it's okay. We all do it. As long as you don't let them overtake you, like with the Eight of Swords, that's bad. That would be bad to let you overtake it, because then you're really stuck in your head and it really holds you back from making any progress. When you want spiritual growth, you don't want to be held back. So that's good. Keep the sun shining. Keep shining your light out there, spreading the love and the generosity and the kindness, because that comes back to you tenfold when you do. And, this looks like a balance of water. There's a balance of the wolves, and there's a balance, on both sides of the pillars or the buildings or whatever that is. And, it does seem very well balanced. And the sun is more than the moon, it seems like. But the moon can become whole too. So we go through these cycles of worry and stuff sometimes, especially if those of you dealing with this, if your higher self knows that you have anxiety, or in my case, I have ADHD. I do have anxiety as well, but that's kind of a reminder not to let it overtake you. Don't let it be like the moon when it waxes. You want to keep it waning. That's a good way to say it. So, and having that beautiful sun and shining your beautiful spiritual light, people are drawn to that energy. They're drawn to you that way, and you want to keep shining. Don't let them miss you. Don't let people you know, people, I don't know how to say this, but don't let them down. I don't want to say that. Let me rephrase. I'm having trouble finding my words, and that's, you know, it's interesting because I myself am a Leo sign, so I represent the sun big time, and I love shining that light out there, and people have told me about my own energy, and I've had people say, you know, I love your energy, you know, love your smiling face, and we like to show up to wherever you are, like, people like to show up when I show up to stuff, or like if I'm online, they want to come online and talk to me or see me in events on Meetup or whatever it is. And it's very flattering to hear that. And I appreciate it more than they know. It reminds me how far I've come. So when I shine my light, I have times when my anxiety gets out of control and it waxes like the moon. It gets bigger. And when it does, I kind of feel swallowed up by it like the Eight of Swords. And when it gets like that, I have to figure out how to bring it down, and I have to tell myself, no, this is just your anxiety talking. You have people who love you, have support you. You know, you have a lot of love out there, and I'm glad I'm talking about love because we're about to go into the love card. You got to love yourself first and foremost, but there's a lot of people out there, your friends, your family. Hopefully for most of you, you have people in your life, a support system who loves you and shows you all the love that you can possibly handle. And I hope if you have a partner, I hope that partner shows you the love and respect you deserve as well. But you know, with the moon card, yeah, the higher self just says don't let those fears overtake you and pay attention to your intuition, because they're going to help you avoid some of that. Because if your intuition is solid, you're like, nope, I got this. I can differentiate between this is my fear and, you know, this is my intuition telling me it's going to be okay. Like, things are going to work out. So believe in yourself and believe in your intuition. That's an important lesson. Your higher self, my higher self is telling me that now too. So this message is also for me. And there's a reason I'm the one telling you all of this, because I've been through a lot of this already. And that goes to the last card, is the Nine of Cups. And I love it. This is like my ultimate love. Like, Nine of Cups is attainment. It's love. It's a lot of love. And in this case, like, this guy's folded his hands over and he's looking over, acting like he doesn't have it. You know, he kind of seems perturbed. That's a word that comes out. Kind of like, this isn't enough. I want more. Don't be greedy. Your higher self says, you know, 9 is okay. You don't have to have 10. 10 is an ending. You know, what happens when it ends? I mean, it can be good. It just ends up being a renewal, and then you start all over again, a new cycle, you know. Cycles, beginnings and endings and cycles, we're always going through them. So, but I want to say with the Nine of Cups, 9 is great. When I see this card, even in other things, I just think there's so much love here. And in your case, for those of you that are watching this, you guys, this is love for you. This is love from your friends, your family, your community, your support system, whoever they may be. But this, your higher self wants you to know that they love you. They want you to know that they love you. Not just them, but your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your ETs, whatever or whoever you have on your side. And your loved ones, whether they are departed or not, they also love you. You're getting love from, you know, whatever you believe in. It could be God, it can be source, the universe, anything out there. If you're pagan, wicked, whatever you are, Mother Earth loves you. There is so much love. Like, so your higher self wants you to know that there is love flowing to you from just almost everything all the time. Like, you're getting it from your people. You're getting it from the spiritual environment around you. You can feel the loving energy. So hold on to that, because that's very important. But the most important thing, they also want you to go, know that just be, you know, you, not just because, but let me get my words out. Your higher self wants you to know, not only do they love you, everybody loves you physically, like 3D to 5D, but the love flowing in, you have to love yourself. And I just stated that. This is about you loving yourself. Give yourself 9 cups. Make sure, because once you love yourself, the love from everyone else flows more abundantly and freely to you. And this is something you got to learn. And I know that some of you are in your head with the swords, and you're in your head with, you know, worrying about things. A lot of this has to do with being caught up in your head or caught up in situations where you're worrying about things. And I get that. But the thing is, you're actually quite abundant. The love flows to you, and you're abundant in most of your situations in life. you're pretty abundant with people, and you've got a lot of hope and wish fulfillment coming to you. This is a beautiful. If divine timing is opening doors, you got to love yourself and be prepared and be in the right vibrational state to walk through that door. Definitely don't, because you might miss it. If you're stuck, tied up, and you blindfolded, you won't see the door open. So it's very important that you know that these messages that the higher self is trying to tell you with this. So definitely love yourself and feel the love coming in, the energetic love from those around you, and that you can, all that you can see and not see, because love flows around us all the time. And love is the most powerful emotion out there. It is the most powerful thing, I think, in the universe at this point. And so you want to make sure you tap into that and you hold on to it and believe in it. You believe in yourself and you're confident in yourself and you love yourself. You're going to feel all of it, and you're going to be able to shed those limiting beliefs. You're going to be able to shed that anxiety. All those worrisome thoughts go away. You're going to find yourself following your intuition, being abundant, and your wish fulfillment will come, and that love will come. You'll have everything that you could ever possible need. Did I say that right? I don't even know if my grammar is right now. I have been so tired lately, but yes, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And with that, I'm going to pull your oracle cards. I just did a few this time. I think I meant to pull another one, and I might just do that. But first you have the warrior card. Again, look at this. You've got these horns, look like ram horns with a sword, and swords go right along with what I was saying about thoughts and communication, because that's immediately what I think of. But in the when I see the ram horns, it makes me think of someone that's very strong-willed and strong-minded. Might be stubborn too. So I don't know which one of you guys are stubborn, but I hope you use that stubbornness in the right way. And being stubborn means, no, I am not going to let these thoughts tie me up and blindfold me. I'm not going to let these worries and fears and doubts and all this other crap, it's not going to get to me. You're stubborn enough to go, nope, I'm going to push that stuff away. I will deal with it, in a proper and healthy way, but I'm not going to let it get me down either. So that's going to be the thing. And having this one sword here, it kind of reminds me of like the Ace of Swords, just because there's one. So standing strong, speaking your truth, that kind of thing. So stand up for yourself, stand your ground, assert yourself, and say, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is who I want to be. Yeah. There's a lot about speaking the truth. I think there is one in there about speaking truth that's also a sword, but I feel like with the warrior, this is a very strong person. So you are getting stronger. That's what this card is saying. Doing the work here, your higher self is trying to make you a stronger and more resilient person. And look at that moonology. Full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. There you go. I love it. And I love how the purple comes out in all the cards. Like, show the world the real you. Don't be afraid. You don't need to wear an ego mask or anything like that. If you're healthy and balanced and with the ego and everything else going on and your thoughts, your feelings, I really think that you can show the world the real you, and you can stand there confidently and strong, resilient, and people are going to love you and accept you as you are. You don't have to worry about impressing anybody. So I know that somebody needed to hear that. So whoever it is, take it. Take it and run with it. Show the world the real you. This one stumps me. St. Christopher, safe travel. It's kind of weird. I don't know if some of you are traveling, but you know what? If this is part of your star card, I don't know the specific situations for everybody here, but some of your situations could involve being honest about, maybe traveling with somebody, a road trip or a honeymoon or something like that. So if you are, this is just a card. Your angels and saints are letting you know that you're safe to travel. You're going to be safe. St. Christopher, it's funny. They say St. Christopher, but it's also, if you think about it, Archangel Raphael is the patron saint of travelers, but he's also a healer too. So he travels along with people as well. So you can also ask him like, hey, I'm going to be traveling, so kind of just keep me safe or like help me along the way. It never hurts. Oh, and then I did pull a Blooming Cat Oracle with this too. Abundance, number 37. You attract prosperity and a success. And I saw that with the Queen of Pentacles we had up there. Yes, definitely. Some of you guys are attracting a lot of prosperity and success. You guys are going to be just fine. Don't worry about the bumps in the road or tripping over the cat. It's like, you're going to be fine. I'd be more worried about the cat, honestly, but that's just me. 37, that reduces to 10. 10s are in endings and beginnings, so I think that that's a good thing. That means, like, you know, things are going to change as you're bringing in this abundance, so that's going to be a new cycle, I think. Renewals are always good, so endings don't ever have to be a bad thing. And let's see, this, the color card that I picked for you, you ended up getting amber. It says, awaken your creativity, number 15. 15 reduces to 6. And this kind of looks like fire and stuff. It's really pretty. But it kind of reminds me of the sacral chakra. You know, the creativity and, you know, sexuality and the passion and desire. You know, all the fire. And I noticed in the cards, and I don't know if you noticed, but we have swords, we had pentacles, and we had cups. We didn't have any wands this time. And that means that there's a lack of creativity, a lack of passion, of movement. Let's see. Getting dry mouth now. I need water. But the lack of, you know, attraction or whatever it is, like, I feel like this is creativity and passion for you. So I'm going to lay this down. 15 reduces to 6, which can be like the Lover's card if you want to associate it with the tarot. It could represent any of the 6s, and it just depends. I just kind of relate it back to the major arcana. And if that's about choices and duality. And if it is regarding a love interest, you know, you need to awaken your creativity. That might be a private thing for some of you. If this is your creativity in the bedroom, that's up to you. Okay. Amber is a pretty color. It's, you know, it is a very interesting color, but awaken your creativity. This could go for anybody in a creative job or anything like that. For those of you that are attracting in this abundance, you might be doing so by using creativity, but there's a lack of creativity with people watching right now. So for whatever it is, we had no wands. So we had no passion, no attraction, no desire, no creativity. There's so many things there. And there's also opportunities. Sometimes the wands can be an opportunity, depending on, like the Ace of Wands to me is like a new opportunity, but we didn't see it here. And I think that's where the divine timing comes in. If you want to look at that, the star card and go, oh, the doors are going to open. Those wands are going to show up soon. So be more creative, think outside the box. You know, just let that energy flow, and I think you guys will be fine. I wanted to pull a final card for you guys, and I forgot to pull it beforehand. I like to be prepared so I'm not on here for like 2 hours, but I'm going to knock on it. This is Kuan Yin, the divine feminine goddess, and these are beautiful cards. I don't know if I can show them on YouTube. Well, some of them I can, but some of them had nudity, so if I can't show you, but I can read it off to you. Oh, there we go. And this one just came out. And yeah, I can show you that one. That's beautiful. So this is, it's called the, Shining Lotus. And I love the artwork in these cards. They're very, very pretty. So with the Shining Lotus, I'm going to read this to you. There are times when it makes sense to be discreet until you find your inner strength so that you feel empowered enough to share your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs without wavering, even in the face of challenge. At other times, we are ready to take a risk and allow the inner lotus blossom of our true self to shine forth for all to behold. I think that is a beautiful place to end this particular reading, and I think that it says a lot about showing your true self to the world, and there's a lot of that there. So it's kind of about taking that time to do the work so that you can find that abundance and you can feel that love flowing in, and you can feel hopeful and have your wish fulfillment and all of that. I think it ties the cards together beautifully. So thank you for watching, guys.